You ever just feel tired, a bit overwhelmed? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. So many of us are trying to find ways to get our energy back, to find some real balance in our crazy lives. Well, that's exactly where natural nutrition comes into play. Today, we're going to dive into how getting back to nature with our food can seriously transform our well being. But let's be real for a second. That word, natural, it's everywhere, right? It gets thrown around so much it can get well, pretty confusing. So, what we're going to do here is cut right through all that noise. We're going to get a super clear picture of what natural actually means for the food on our plates and for the choices we make every single day. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, we need to lay some groundwork. What are we really talking about when we say natural nutrition? At its core, it's actually pretty simple. It's all about eating foods that are as close as possible to how you'd find them in nature. Just picture a bright red tomato. Maybe it's still warm from the sun, right off the vine. Or a crisp, juicy apple just picked from the tree. That's the idea. It's about knowing where your food comes from and really understanding how it fuels your body from the inside out. And I want to be super clear about something. This is not about boring, restrictive diets. No way. Natural nutrition is all about celebrating amazing flavors. It's about finding a balance that you can actually stick with. Think of it like this. You're using food as this incredible tool for prevention, for looking after your long-term health, and for making sure you have the energy for, well, whatever life decides to throw at you. Okay, so if we're going to find that balance, we have to know the basics, right? We've got to understand the fundamentals. It's kind of like building a house. You can't start without knowing what your essential materials are. So let's take a look at the 7 key building blocks of nutrition. All right, here they are, the magnificent 7. You've got your carbohydrates, that's your energy. Proteins for repair and building. Healthy fats for your brain. Then you have vitamins and minerals, which handle like a million tiny jobs that keep you running. Fiber for a happy gut. And of course, water for, well, pretty much everything. Every single one of these is absolutely crucial for our bodies to work their best. Nailing that balance, that's the real secret to feeling strong and ready for anything. And this is what it actually looks like on your plate. See, a healthy, natural diet doesn't have to be about crazy, complicated recipes or super expensive ingredients. Not at all. It's about a plate that's just bursting with color. Think lean proteins, crisp local vegetables, sweet seasonal fruit, and some good, hearty whole grains. Simple, balanced, and honestly, absolutely delicious. But here's the thing. It's not just about what's on your plate. Nutrition is just one piece of the puzzle. To really, truly thrive, we've got to zoom out and look at the bigger picture and see how our food choices are connected to, well, everything else in our lives. This is what people call a holistic view of health. It's this idea that what you eat is totally intertwined with everything else. Your exercise, how you handle stress, how well you sleep, even your emotional balance and mental clarity. It's all connected. It all works together as one big system, and food is a super important part of that. A really great practical example of this? Sports. Just look at athletes. For them, nutrition isn't just about being healthy, it's high-performance fuel. Every single meal, every supplement is precisely tailored to maximize energy, to build stamina, and to help them recover faster. It's such a cool example of how you can use nutrition to push your own limits, but to do it safely. Okay, so with all the information swirling around out there, it can be tough to know who to listen to, right? And how to make smart, safe choices for yourself. The good news is you're not on your own. There are experts and actual regulations designed to help guide us. Think of clinical nutritionists as your expert guides on this whole journey. They don't just hand out generic one-size-fits-all advice. No, they dig deep into the science. We're talking anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, to create a plan that is completely personalized just for you and your body. It's where the hard science of nutrition really meets the art of your own personal well-being. And this is so, so important. We've got to understand what we're reading on product labels. So check this out. First, you've got a nutrition claim, something like good source of calcium. That's allowed as long as it meets the official standards. Then there's a health claim, like calcium supports bone strength. That's also allowed, but, and this is key, it has to be backed up by real scientific evidence. But then you have a therapeutic claim. This is anything that says it cures a disease. And that's a big no-no. It's just not allowed. Just knowing the difference between these three makes you a way smarter, way more empowered shopper.
All right, so let's pull all these threads together. We've talked about what natural nutrition is, its building blocks, the experts. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the bottom line?
It all boils down to this one powerful idea. This isn't just some trend that's here today and gone tomorrow. It's not a quick fix diet. It's a return. A return to a more balanced, a more sustainable, and a more intuitive way of feeding ourselves. It's about creating healthy habits that are going to stick with you for life. And please remember, this doesn't have to be some huge, overwhelming change. It's really about the small things, the little, consistent choices you make day in and day out. That morning smoothie, or sharing a home-cooked meal with people you care about. Every single one of those little choices adds up. They all build towards your long-term well-being. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a little something to think about. After everything we've talked about today, what's one small choice, just one, that you can make for your own well-being? Something you can do starting right now.